Hello, this is Cassie B, and this is the Whatever It Takes podcast. Hello, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. It's been a few days since I've done one of these, and yeah, I'm kind of on a new schedule, so I think I'm going to do a podcast 3 times a week now, and I'm going to once I know what days I can do it, I will tell you, because I think it will be on specific days, which will help me. But yeah, and I think that will be a little more digestible too, because I'm getting so busy. Yeah. And I kind of want to do streaming on Twitch 3 days a week too, so it's a nice balance. So it's been a while since we talked. I think I missed 2 days. Just my mind has been everywhere. I've been pretty healthy, happy, sometimes your mind's racing. I've been saying that a lot, because it's true. Yeah, so I actually feel really good, but also a sense of, too energized. But things have been good. I've been getting things done. I almost have a new driving school that seems good. I have a new phone. Haven't set it up yet, which is fine. It will get set up tomorrow, and that's good. Yeah, and I think it's a little cheaper than my other one, just in the price I will pay, which is great. And yeah, just working on a lot of stuff. I did my first 2 Twitch streams, which were really fun. I got 1 viewer, which was nice. 1 on the first stream and 1 on the second. And the second one actually communicated with me, which is nice. And I think that will be good. I'm excited about it. And oh my gosh, I've moved out of my apartment. And I even got my deposit back, which is great. I wasn't sure. I know I left the apartment spotless, but sometimes people make it harder than it has to be. They're like, no, this, that. And you're like, I don't know, I did everything. But I think it's all done. Crossing my fingers, I think it's all done. Yeah. Other than that, I feel so good. I feel good in a way. I'm growing with what I want to do. I'm consistently doing my drawing every day for an hour. I'm consistently cleaning my space every day. I'm consistently doing other things that aren't even on my resolution list that I want to do. Singing. My singing has really improved, which I'm so happy about. I am very proud, because that's always been something that's been close to my heart. And when I was really young, I liked to sing a lot. And then as I got older, it just became stressful, because my voice would hurt when I sung, because I think I didn't know how to sing. I didn't practice singing. I didn't do warm-ups. It was really it was something I wanted to do so much because I loved it, and I wanted that passion for it, but I didn't know how to learn that. So it was extremely painful. Well, painful physically, and I think a lot of it was mental. I was always like, I'm going to damage my voice. I'm going to end up not being able to do anything. So it was a lot of mental and physical anguish, which is hard. I I'm really happy though. I'm really happy in life. I'm happy that it feels so much easier to sing. And doing the singing, doing the podcast, doing all these things is allowing me to, I don't know, just feel like my voice and strength is growing a lot. I'm more confident. Things are getting so good. I think when I talk so much, it also makes me want to talk more, which helps with the singing and wanting to do that too. And I'm glad I'm making this podcast. It is almost 12 o'clock at night. It's 11:30 right now. So it's quite late. But I still want to do it if I remember. It's an enjoyable part of my life right now. And yeah, I care about it a lot. Right before this, why I'm kind of energized. I don't know if you can tell by my voice, but I'm kind of, talking a little fast. Maybe I sound more, I don't know, energized. But I just did a whole bunch of cleaning. Every week I try to I try to clean every day my own space, but every week I try to clean me and my aunt's space, like the living room. I live with my aunt right now. My great aunt, she's 84, so I love her. She does so many good things, but I can't expect much from her, and I try not to ask for much. But she has a very bad habit of throwing her trash on the floor right next to her reclining chair. So I gave her a trash barrel. She doesn't use it. And if she just used it, we would live in a nice clean paradise. Because it's super clean right now after I cleaned it. But she's always been the type of person who isn't good at being organized. The house is very clean. She washes the rugs every week almost. She washes the rugs to a absurd degree, I think. But, it's clean, but it's not organized, so I spent maybe 2-3 hours. On the night she goes to bed early, like before 9 or something, I will spend a few hours like cleaning and stuff. And it looks so nice right now. But if she would only throw her trash away in the trash barrel, it would be so much more easy. But I'm not gonna, I gave her a trash barrel. I said, please do this. She's a lovely person. I'm not gonna ask too much. I'm completely fine with how things are. And my space is good. I have my own room, clean, freaking awesome. And yeah. So, yeah, very exciting. It feels really clean. Every time I do like a declutter, I love decluttering. But every time I do it, I end up with a huge bag of trash and things to throw away, which is awesome, or things to give away, which is awesome, because that allows there to be less to do next time, and that is great. That is so great. I feel great about this, and it's so hard to do this because I'm quite a anxious person. I'm an introvert. I'm an extrovert. I think everybody has a little bit of both. But sometimes I can become so You know, I can become so easily, I forget the word, but it's kind of like shy. You become what is it? You become, I don't know. Well, you become anxious and you become, you know, oh, it's gonna kill me. Trying to think of this word. I think you will probably know what it is. You become self. You become, what's the difference? What's the opposite of self-confident? Insecure. You become insecure. And I become so insecure. And it's hard for me to clean or do anything in front of other people. I can even be doing a craft. And then sometimes I become so insecure and I'm like, I need to go be alone. And that is totally fine. But that's why sometimes I have to wait until like 9 o'clock at night and then clean for 3 hours. Because I need my space. I am a person who is very much, I love working on a team. I love being with other people. But when it comes to certain tasks, I need to be alone. I need to just do it because I know how to do it and get it done. It would help so much if she threw her trash away. But other than that, you know, you have to take life how it is, you know. And yeah, I'm pretty happy. Everything's going well and just kind of, I know I'm insecure about some things. I'm so confident about other things, but I am still a real human being. So it just helps to know what works and what doesn't. And what works for me is cleaning at 9 o'clock at night for like 3 hours. And yeah, I love I love I love being in a clean environment. You know, she does a lot of stuff, my aunt, which is helpful. She is so good. And it's nice to live with her, but it's also nice to like keep making it better, keep decluttering, keep, you know, doing the stuff that will make it better slowly. Cleaning is always a slow process. And you hardly ever get it all done because once you get one thing done, there's more. But learning how to be less cluttered is something that I think it's worth everyone's while. You know, I think if you can do that for yourself, I think for me at least, I know that that's something I struggle with. But I know implementing this into my life has already made my life so much easier. Like, I think a big tip for people who have ADHD and stuff is to make it as easy as possible. You know, sometimes I can't find things, even if they're just in like a brown paper bag or something, or if they're in like a purse or hidden away. I forget about them completely. I'll do my grocery shopping and then I'll put most of this stuff away, but I'll leave the bananas in the bag or something, the brown paper bag. And I'll forget about those bananas for like 3 days. And it's like that with other stuff. So the tip is make it as easy as possible. You know, maybe you have a lot of chapstick, or maybe you have a lot of one certain thing. It could be anything. But put all those things, every one of them, in a certain spot. One spot. And then when you need them, you know you need them. You don't have them anywhere else except for that one spot. So you know, oh, I'll go there. And then train yourself to be like, oh, I have to put it back right away. And that helps me tremendously. Because it is the muscle memory. The more you do it, the more you know, oh, it has one certain spot. And for me, it helps a lot. I don't know if it will help other people, but I think that is great. Like, I put my coats away right away. There's not clothes everywhere, and these things need to be updated eventually. Like, maybe you figure out, oh, putting on my clothes. I actually don't use drawers for my clothes because I'm the type of person who will fold all my clothes and then I'll mess them up completely the first time I need something. So I have a big basket for them. And for the most part, it's great. But I think I will end up getting two smaller baskets. So my pants and my shirts and sweaters can be in two different things. And they're not super big baskets or anything. I don't have a whole lot of shirts and pants. I have, I guess, a reasonable amount. So, yeah, but I always know that they're, and I don't feel bad messing them up because they're not organized into drawers. So that's what I mean. Sometimes you have to update it. But in life, you have to update everything. So it's totally fine. I am doing good. I feel very confident in my life. And even with this, my head spinning, it's been very clearing too. I don't know if this will become a normal feeling for me. I'll just get used to it or it'll go away, kind of like, you know how you have anxiety and you don't know when it's gonna go away? It kind of feels like that. I'm waiting for it to go away, this racing on my mind, but I also am wondering if it's gonna be how I feel from now on. Because I don't know if it's my mind racing or if I'm just very happy and inspired. Emotions are very strange. So, but even feeling this way, I've learned so much. I've learned about how I want to perceive myself and how I want others to perceive me, which isn't something you can control, but I've learned that the way you say things are very important. And that makes me think about things you might just do because you want to be cool, or things you do subconsciously because you think that people will like you more or you'll be funner or things like that, and just trying to not fall into that, because I think deep down I know what type of person makes me happy. I know who I'd want to be at the end of all of this. And not in exacts or anything, but I kind of more know who I don't want to be. And the way of acting that is just a temporary feeling of yay, this was so good, Sometimes when it's not you being yourself, your true self. And it's hard to know what that is because it keeps changing. When you're not being your true self, you do more things that you'll regret. You do more things to please others instead of pleasing yourself. And you really have to start with yourself. And I think that's so important because at the end of the day, you have yourself. You don't have you don't have that perceived image you're throwing out there. you have what you want, and you have who you are. I guess like the essence of who you are. And I think somehow we know that. When you're just saying things to be cool, which I think everybody does now and then. And then you feel like you've said too much. You're trying to be cool, but you kind of did the opposite. Now you have a sick feeling in your stomach. And you don't know really how to deal with that. And I think I've been struggling a lot with knowing who I am and who I want to be and what my essence is. And I think my essence is, I think it's really about being the type of person, or being true to myself, and also, not saying things just to say them. I can have fun, I can joke, I can be even a little bit risky, but at the end of the day, I want to say the things I say to demonstrate, maybe I'll do something serious. Maybe, like the job I have right now is pretty serious. It has to do with mental health and listening to people and respecting them. I don't want to go from, haha, that's so funny, that's so cringy, to like, oh yeah, I can understand your feelings. I want to continue to be true to myself. And I think deep down that means caring about what other people say and really respecting them and not trying to get a laugh. I love making people laugh, but that's not the objective of my soul. That's not what I yearn for most overall. And I think that was hard for me a lot of my life to know who I was. Because we're changing every day, but I think we do have an essence of what's important to us. And maybe it will continue to transform. But deep down, I want to be more of a person that cares about others more than feeling that instant gratification of, aren't I so funny? I think I can also, be sympathetic, but also indulge in myself too. I'm really going through a lot these last few weeks, and just realizing that I enjoy so much to be alive right now, and I haven't always felt like that. I don't know. Now that I'm in a position where I can do more, I want to do more. And my overall feeling is I want to do more for other people. If I'm ever given like an opportunity to help others, I want to. But I think that also involves, I don't know, it doesn't involve not having fun and laughing and stuff like that, but it involves kind of having an air of respectfulness and maturity and knowing the right time to make a joke and not to. And I think that's sometimes hard for people, especially if our personality is so intertwined with one personality trait. Because when I was younger, I really wanted to be funny. People would say I was funny, and that's one of the big things they would say. They'd say I was nice, and they'd say I was funny. So I felt like those are the things I have to be. I wasn't able to. I was so scared to express that I was going for an extremely hard time, because people saw me as nice, happy, and funny. So when I didn't feel like those things, like when I felt people weren't laughing at my jokes, and when I felt that, I internally wasn't happy, it was hard. And the few times I would hardly ever get angry at people. Even now it's like, I don't really get mad because, there's not too much to get mad over, and it never helps. It never makes you feel better. But on the few occasions when people did things that I might react to, not negatively, but slightly different, like going away for 14 days with people on a trip. And one time I was like, oh, this is hard, oh my gosh, a little different than how I usually act. They would be like, oh, you didn't enjoy the trip, you're not going back next year. And it would hurt a lot, because it's like I wasn't yelling and screaming and like, I had no fun. I was just like acting like they acted, joking around and being like, this is hard, And then they would kind of perceive me as somebody or they would think I didn't have fun and I wasn't happy, but I was happy. And that's hard when people read into things. I had the time of my life, and I did it the next year, and it was so good. But yeah, it's easy for those character traits to to be so attached to our self-worth that when somebody kind of goes against that, somebody says, oh, you weren't happy, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, they're not gonna like me anymore. They're already saying I had no fun. They're already, and you kind of read into it too. You're like, oh no, I'm a bitter, sad, unhappy person and nobody likes me. And that's not healthy, but it's so easy to do that. Especially being around people, it's easy to compromise yourself. Be like, haha, I'll be the funny person. I'll be happy. I'll never cry. I'll have my breakdowns in private. You won't see me shed a tear. And it's so unhealthy and it's so hard, but it's hard to know what to do. So I always want to be authentic to myself and allow people to know, maybe not go into detail, but be like, I guess when I start doing this podcast, I always say, oh, I've been good, or, oh, things have been a little, my mind's all over the place. It's neither negative or positive. It's just what it is. And I think it's very healthy for people to not go by when somebody says, how are you? Sometimes people will just respond with, oh, I'm great, I'm fine. Because that's the answer they think the other person wants to hear. And I never want to be like that. Sometimes my answer is, I am great. Because I am great. But if I'm not, I'm going to be like, I'm okay. My mind's racing a little. Kind of some truth that is also kind of expressing that maybe I'm in a little discomfort. And then maybe we'll start talking about that. We don't have to, but I don't want to pretend things are okay if they're not. And if you have friends where you have to pretend or you feel like you have to pretend, sometimes it's just anxiety and you don't feel like you can be open to anyone. But if your friends, you don't feel like you can be open with some of your friends and you're open with some other ones, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna stop today. This was so fun. It's nice doing it less often, I think. So I'm going to say goodbye now. Thank you for watching. This was the Whatever It Takes podcast. Thank you.